Cody, first of all, how did it feel to sort of be, I know you've been skating a little bit, but to be back out and sort of get in that rhythm with your teammates?
That's been good. It's only been a little bit, but it feels like forever when you're by yourself skating and stuff like that and getting bagged. So it feels good to be back out there. The energy was good, and be with the guys again. It was nice.
Was it something that had been nagging you beforehand? Like what sort of is the situation?
Yeah, it started bugging me like a couple weeks before, and I was playing through it, and just got to a point where we kind of just said, okay, like if it keeps hurting you, let's just take some time off and then hopefully let it heal. And did so, and it feels better. So good thing we did that.
Tough though, I imagine, just coming into a new team, playing a few games, and then sort of having to remove yourself in a way.
Yeah, that's the bad feeling about it. Is just I felt like I was playing really good hockey, and I was feeling it, and I was like, okay, it's hurting, like. But I wanted to keep playing just because I felt so good with myself and where I was at. But I got to a point where it was no go. And the training staff was awesome, coaching staff awesome, all of them were really great about it. And hopefully just smooth sailing now.
Was there a point where you started feeling okay, where you're like, okay, like maybe I can get in here this weekend?
Yeah. It was nice to kind of go through the skates this week and then get into a full team practice because you can't really mimic a game in single person skates. So nice to get out there, feel it again, and get everything nice and loose.
And I know before you were out, we've talked so much about understanding the systems, knowing where you have to be, all those things. Can you use that time to specifically zero in on some of those things when you're not playing them? Like how is that sort of?
Yeah, I think
that learning process.
I think it helps a little bit too. Watching the games from a distance, being able to kind of just watch. Just watching Nico, go off is such a good feeling. But at the same time, he's such a smart defensive player where I can kind of just look at him and be like, what's this guy doing right, and how is he getting success in the D zone to lead to offense. So just watching him make the game look so easy, it's a good thing for me to just watch off the ice.
Thanks, Cody. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Let's talk a little bit about that. For you, what is that like, adapting to new partners every once in a while? Because it's a scenario that you're in right now as a team.
Yeah, I mean, I think between injuries and 82-game season, you're going to play all different, with different roles, different partners, left side, right side. I think for myself, it's kind of been my role for my career, kind of, whether it's just adapting, a little babysitting once in a while, letting these offensive guys do their thing. So, I think for a guy like Seamus, brings a lot of skill, young guy that just is excited to be here, excited to, affect the game positively, confident. We have all seen how he can affect the game on the power play and, breaking pucks out on the ozone blue line. So, again, I've had a bunch of different partners here over the last couple of weeks, and we got 6 games left here before the real thing gets going. So, just trying to build some chemistry whichever way I can.
What is it like, playing with young, offensive defenseman minded? What is that like for you?
Yeah, it's fun. It's exciting for me to, I was at one point, that young guy that was trying to get established in the league, and for me to whatever way I can help them, whether that's on D-zone face-offs or certain scenarios in the neutral zone. I think that's something when you're a young offensive player, you forget that you've got to get the puck first, or you've got to be able to be reliable first before you can let your offensive side of things kind of shine. So, I think that's what I try to bring is that defensive physicality, aggressive, make sure they feel like they've, can have confidence out there, against bigger guys, but at the same time, I feel like I can skate well enough to be able to complement their game, and I've been very fortunate between the, Brent Burns', Eric Carlson's, John Carlson's over the years to played with some high-end offensive guys, so just try and, give them as much feedback as I can, help them in any way I can, be a voice if they, again, have any questions, just be, the best guy I can to help them understand and be comfortable in the situation.
Do you also feel that, that is one of the reasons, I mean, we've talked a lot about it, that you were really brought in here, not specifically for that, but just to be that veteran leadership voice. And, you got a letter last time when both Pally, is this sort of part of what you're here?
Yeah, I think it's a role that I've just kind of adapted into and understood, and I was so lucky as a young guy to have amazing veteran players and leaders help me that that's kind of how you pay it forward is I love this league, I love this team, I'm so happy and understand how every day to be in the National Hockey League is it's an honor and a privilege, and you've got to understand that whether it's a practice or a game, and I think that's as a young guy too, you can understand, I got called up, like I'm going to be here. It doesn't work like that. There's millions of kids that wish they could be in your role, so you have to understand that. You need to work at it and show your work ethic. You need to show your commitment to learning whatever thing the coach wants you to work on. And for a lot of these offensive guys, it's the defensive side of the puck. It's not having the puck on your stick, because when they do get it, they're so good with it, right? So, getting back to your question, I think just to be able to affect them and have fun with them, I feel like my role with all these guys, I've got great relationships with every D-man, with every player on the team. So I feel like I can be a guy that they can feel comfortable coming to, and something I try to pride myself on for sure.
Who was that for you when you were first starting out?
I had so many good guys. I had Stefan Robida, I had Trevor Daly, I had Alex Goligoski. Going to San Jose, I had Brent Burns, Paul Martin, Justin Braun. I can't say enough good things about the veteran players that I had for my first 2-3 years in the league, and whether that was on ice stuff or off ice stuff, they were always there for me. And I think that's half the battle these days, is when you get to the pro level, right? It's kind of like you're here now, they almost leave you alone, and I think that's something where you kind of do have to learn a lot on your own, and having these 22, 23 guys around you every day, it's an easy way to you're rolling out before practice, hey, that drill today that we're doing, what are you doing this? And just helping everybody stay sharp. And I feel like when you can build that chemistry off the ice and understanding of, your whatever the neutral zone coverage is or your practice drills for the day, you're going to be better for it. And something I try to take pride in here with all my D partners and D union and team as a whole.
Thanks, Dillon. Appreciate it.